Welcome to Elder Zen. Hit subscribe for simple health tips made just for seniors. Stay tuned. Your next great day starts here. How often do you really stop, truly pause for just a minute, and listen to the subtle messages your body is sending you? I'm not talking about the big, obvious aches or a twinge in your back after working in the garden, but those quiet signals. A leg that suddenly cramps during the night. A little swelling around your ankle that wasn't there yesterday. A faint shortness of breath as you climb the stairs. For so many of us, especially as we get older, it's tempting to brush these off as just getting up there in years. Or to chalk them up to yesterday's yard work, too much walking at the grocery store, or that extra long phone call with the grandkids where you sat a bit too long in your favorite chair. But let's be honest, life doesn't slow down. We're still running after grandchildren, planning family get-togethers, working on our hobbies. Volunteering, or keeping up with. The daily joys and challenges of each new day. Yet, amidst all of this, there's a crucial truth that every senior deserves to hear. The risk of dangerous blood clots rises with age, and often, the first warning signs can be so subtle or nearly invisible that they slip right past us. This isn't just about occasional aches or fleeting fatigue. Blood clots are a hidden threat. One of those silent health risks that can turn a normal day upside down. And they're responsible for thousands of hospital visits each year, especially for those of us over 60. But here's what may surprise you most. These clots are not only treatable, they're often preventable if we know what to look for and take action early. Today, I want to guide you through everything you need to know about blood clot scans. What are they really? When should you ask? For one, are they safe? And most importantly, how can these scans, some of the simplest and most accessible medical tests available, actually protect your independence, your health, and those precious days with your family and friends? I know firsthand that the world of medical tests and doctor appointments can feel overwhelming. There's the confusing language, the paperwork, the waiting rooms, and the questions you remember only after you've left the office. But I promise, understanding your options and especially understanding the power of a single, well-timed scan can make all the difference. Sometimes it's what stands between years of vibrant, active living and a sudden, dangerous setback. So, if you're with me, take a moment to get comfortable. Pour yourself a cup of tea or coffee, find your favorite spot, and let's begin this journey together. Whether you're preparing for a long-awaited vacation, recovering from a recent surgery, caring for a loved one, or simply want to stay a step ahead, you're about to learn practical steps, clear science-backed facts, and hear real stories that will help you feel confident and protected no matter where life takes you next. And remember, this conversation isn't just about living longer. It's about living better on your own terms with the energy and confidence to savor every experience. Let's take this first step together. As we step into our 60s and beyond, there's a natural expectation that things will change a little. Maybe we'll notice a few more aches, move a bit more slowly, or schedule extra checkups. But there's one health risk that doesn't announce itself with loud alarms and too often goes unnoticed until it's already become a problem. Blood clots. Here's a number worth thinking about. Adults over 60 are up to 5 times more likely to develop a dangerous clot than younger people. And that's not just a scary statistic from a medical book. It's something that touches thousands of families every year. The challenge. Most blood clots form quietly, deep inside our bodies, with few or no clear warning signs. Think back. Maybe you know a friend who had swelling in her leg after a long car ride. Or a neighbor who ended up in the hospital with what they called a lung clot that seemed to come out of nowhere. Maybe you even lost someone you loved to a sudden health scare you never saw coming. So, what exactly are blood clots, and why do they matter so much as we age? Let's break it down together. A blood clot is a gel-like lump your body makes to stop bleeding, very helpful when you get a cut. But when that clot forms inside a vein, especially deep in the legs or in the lungs, it can block healthy blood flow and quickly become dangerous. A deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, is a clot that forms in the deep veins of the leg. If a piece of that clot breaks loose and travels to your lungs, it becomes what's called a pulmonary embolism, a blockage that can cause chest pain, shortness of breath, and even sudden death. Why are we at greater risk after 60? Several reasons come together. Our circulation slows down as we move less and our blood vessels become stiffer. Chronic health issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, or heart disease are more common. Medications for these conditions sometimes make our blood thicker or slower. After surgeries or injuries, we're often less mobile for a while. If you or a close family member has had a clot before, that risk stays with you. But here's the good news. Thanks to modern medicine, we have the tools to catch clots before they cause harm, and one of the best tools we have is the blood clot scan. Let's keep going and see how these scans work, and why they might be a game changer for your health. So now that we understand just how important it is to spot blood clots early, especially as we get older, you might be asking, how exactly does my doctor know if I have one? What's this scan everyone's talking about? Let's demystify it together. Let's start with a moment of honesty. The idea of getting a scan for many people feels intimidating. Maybe you've never had one before. Maybe you worry about what it will feel like, how safe it is, or what the results might mean. The truth is, these scans are designed to be as comfortable, safe, and straightforward as possible, especially for seniors. They're tools that give doctors a window into what's happening deep inside your body. Often before you even notice symptoms. There are a few different kinds of blood clot scans, each with its own strengths. You might hear words like ultrasound, Doppler, CT scan, MRI, or VQ scan. It can sound like alphabet soup, but at their core, all these tests do the same essential thing. They help your doctor see if a dangerous clot is lurking where it shouldn't be, quietly waiting to cause trouble. Let's walk through them one by one. And I'll share a bit about what to expect with each so there are no surprises when you get to the clinic. Ultrasound Doppler. The most common and gentle tool for finding clots in the legs is the ultrasound, sometimes called a Doppler. Imagine it as a high-tech version of the same tool doctors use to see babies in the womb, but this time, it's mapping out your veins. You'll lie on a comfortable table. A friendly technician will apply some cool gel to your skin, and then gently move a small handheld probe over the area they need to check, usually your legs. You may feel slight pressure, but there's no pain, no needles, and no radiation. In about 20 to 30 minutes, the scan will produce images that show if your blood is flowing as it should, or if a clot is in the way. It's simple, safe, and you'll be able to go home immediately. CT pulmonary angiography. If your doctor suspects a clot has traveled to your lungs, they'll likely suggest a CT pulmonary angiography, a fancy way of saying a detailed X-ray with a special dye. This test is fast and powerful. You'll be given a small 4 in your arm for the contrast dye, which makes your blood vessels light up on the images. And then you'll lie on a table that slides gently through a big, donut-shaped scanner. You'll need to hold your breath for a few seconds, but it's over quickly, and the machine doesn't touch you. The scan creates high-resolution, 3D pictures of your chest and lungs, letting doctors spot even small clots with remarkable accuracy. The small amount of radiation and contrast dye used is considered very safe for most people, but if you have allergies, kidney problems, or other concerns, always tell your care team so they can adjust the test for your needs. MRI, sometimes, especially if you can't have the dye used in a CT scan, or if the clot might be in the pelvis. Your doctor may suggest an MRI. This uses powerful magnets and radio waves, rather than radiation, to make detailed pictures of your blood vessels. It's painless, but can be noisy and a bit claustrophobic for some. You'll wear earplugs or headphones, and sometimes even get music. If you ever feel anxious in small spaces, let the staff know they're there to help you stay relaxed. VQ. Scan. The ventilation perfusion VQ scan is another way to see if blood clots have traveled to your lungs. You'll breathe in a safe, slightly radioactive mist, and then receive a tiny injection of tracer into your bloodstream. A special camera tracks how air and blood flow through your lungs. It's painless, uses very low radiation, and is especially useful if you have kidney issues or can't tolerate CT dye. Blood tests D-dimer. Sometimes your doctor may order a D-dimer blood test before sending you for a scan. This isn't a scan, but it checks for signs that your body is breaking down clots. If the result is low, you may not need further tests. If it's high, a scan helps find the exact problem. Now, let's talk about safety. Modern blood clot scans are among the safest diagnostic tools available. Ultrasounds have no radiation at all, making them perfect for repeated checks. CTS, Mr. Is, and VQ scans use controlled, minimal doses. And the benefits of quickly diagnosing a blood clot, something that can save your life, far outweigh the tiny risks. Always share your medical history with your care team. If you have kidney issues, a pacemaker, metal implants, or allergies, your team can adapt the scan to fit your needs or choose another method. And here's some good news. Technology keeps getting better. Scans are now faster, clearer, and even more tailored to each patient. Some clinics even have portable ultrasound machines. Imagine. You don't even need to leave your home for the most basic scans if your mobility is limited. That's a big step toward personalized, compassionate care. Let's pause for a moment and remember what all this means for you. These scans aren't about finding something wrong. They're about giving you the information and peace of mind you deserve so you can continue living life on your terms. They're your shield and your safety net, helping you catch issues early, well before a health scare disrupts your plans. Let me share a quick story. Not long ago, I met Ruth, a retired school teacher in her 70s. She told me how nervous she'd been when her doctor suggested an ultrasound after a small swelling in her leg. She pictured cold machines and confusing results. But what she found was a kind technician, a comfortable room, and a test that was over before she knew it. Her scan found a small clot, and with early treatment, Ruth was soon back to her daily walks, full of gratitude for the quiet technology that made all the difference. So, as we move into the next segment, remember this: a scan is not a punishment or something to fear. It's an empowering step, a way to give yourself and your loved ones more good days, more energy, and the confidence to keep enjoying all the things that matter most. And if you're ever unsure, ask questions. Your care team is there to make the process comfortable and clear every step of the way. In the next part, we'll explore exactly when and why you should ask for a blood clot scan and how to recognize the red flags, so you can protect yourself and your future with confidence. Now that we've explored what blood clot scans are, and how remarkably safe and effective they can be, let's take a deeper look at the real questions so many people ask. When should I consider getting a scan? What are the signs that I or someone I love might need one? After all, we don't want to live in fear or rush to the doctor for every ache, but we also don't want to miss a silent warning. Let's set the stage with something honest. Our bodies are always speaking to us, but sometimes the signals are so soft, so woven into the ordinary discomforts of aging that it's easy to miss them. As we get older, it's all too common to brush off pain or swelling as just another part of getting older. But what if that quiet discomfort was actually your body's early alarm, an invitation to pause and take a closer look? The wisdom lies not in ignoring these signs, but in learning to listen with care. Blood clots, by their very nature, are sneaky. They develop quietly in the deep veins of our legs or pelvis, sometimes after a surgery or a long period of sitting. Sometimes with no clear reason at all. When they grow, they can block blood flow and cause serious symptoms. If a piece breaks off and travels to the lungs, it can trigger a medical emergency called a pulmonary embolism (PE), a blockage that stops oxygen from getting where it's needed most. So, when should you or your loved ones ask about a blood clot? Scan. The answer lies in a mix of symptoms, risk factors, and intuition. And remember, you know your body best. If something feels different, really different, it's always better to check than to wait. And worry. Let's talk about the classic symptoms that should put you on alert: sudden swelling in one leg or arm. This swelling is usually painless at first, but the limb may feel heavy or tight. Sometimes the skin looks stretched or shiny, redness or warmth over a patch of skin. Your leg or arm might feel noticeably warmer than the other, or the skin may appear reddish or bluish. Unexplained tenderness, pain, or cramping. The pain is often in the calf or thigh and can feel like a pulled muscle that doesn't get better, even with rest. Skin that feels firmer than usual. Sometimes the texture of your leg just feels different. Shortness of breath or chest pain. This is especially important if you've recently traveled, been on bed rest, or had surgery. It could signal a clot has moved to your lungs. Fast heartbeat, dizziness, or coughing up blood. These are serious signs that require immediate medical attention. Let's ground these facts with a true-to-life story. Because sometimes the most powerful lessons come from the voices of people just like us. Ms. Lynn, age 72, had always been active. She loved tending her garden and taking her grandkids for long walks in the park. But one afternoon, after a morning of planting tulips, she noticed her left calf was swollen and felt warmer than usual. At first, she assumed she'd overdone. It maybe strained a muscle. She tried to ignore the discomfort, chalking it up to age and a busy day outdoors. But when the swelling didn't fade and the pain became sharper with every step, her daughter urged her to call the doctor. Within hours, a simple Doppler ultrasound scan revealed a large DVT, a blood clot that could have become life-threatening. Thanks to early intervention and blood thinners, Ms. Lynn made a full recovery. Her experience is a reminder to all of us. Don't minimize what feels new or wrong in your body. Acting quickly can make all the difference. But what about those of us who never feel any symptoms at all? Here's the tricky part. Many blood clots cause no pain or swelling until they're quite large or until a piece travels elsewhere. That's why understanding your risk factors is so important. Who's at higher risk? If you answer yes to any of these, stay especially vigilant. Have you recently had surgery, especially knee, hip, or abdominal? Have you spent days mostly in bed or sitting after an illness, injury, or a long trip? Are you taking hormone replacement, birth control, or certain cancer medications? Do you have a personal or family history of blood clots, strokes, or clotting disorders? Have you been diagnosed with chronic illnesses, such as cancer, heart disease, or autoimmune conditions? Do you take medications for blood pressure, heart disease, or cholesterol? If you recognize yourself or a loved one in these scenarios, it's wise to be proactive. Don't wait for pain or visible changes if you're feeling off or notice swelling or unexplained aches. Speak up. Blood clot scans are a safe, quick way to rule out something serious and bring peace of mind. And don't forget the less obvious red flags. Sometimes, all you'll notice is an odd fatigue, an unusual heaviness in your legs, or a little shortness of breath while doing normal activities. If you've just come back from the hospital or started a new medication, these changes are worth a conversation with your doctor. As I like to say, it's better to check and be sure than to wait and regret. Let's not forget either that asking for a scan is not an admission of weakness or a waste of time. It's an act of courage and self-respect. You're protecting your independence and making sure you're around for every birthday, every family gathering, every adventure still to come. So when you visit your doctor, here are some simple, empowering questions to ask. I've noticed some swelling pain, shortness of breath. Do you think I need a scan to check for clots, given my age, health, and medications? What's my risk for blood clots? Are there steps I should take to prevent clots or tests I should have regularly? And for caregivers, don't hesitate to speak up on behalf of your loved ones. Sometimes, it's the gentle nudge of a friend or family member that prompts someone to take the first step. Let's take a moment to breathe together, to recognize the wisdom that comes from tuning in to the subtle signals of our own bodies. Remember, every step you take to advocate for your health, every question you ask, and every scan you get when needed is a step toward a longer, healthier, more vibrant life. In our next segment, I'll walk you through what it's actually like to have a blood clot, scan the step-by-step experience so you'll know exactly what to expect and can face the process with confidence and calm. Let's imagine for a moment that you or someone close to you has been advised to get a blood clot scan. Maybe you noticed an unexplained swelling in your leg, or perhaps you're just extra cautious after a surgery or a recent long flight. No matter the reason, it's completely normal to feel a mix of curiosity, nerves, and even a bit of anxiety about what comes next. Let's walk through the entire process together, step by step, so you know exactly what to expect and can approach it with calm and confidence. First, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this scan is a powerful tool, not something to fear. Think of it as your body's own security checkpoint, quietly scanning for trouble before it has a chance to steal your health or your independence. Remember, the real purpose isn't just to find a problem, but to give you answers, clarity, and peace of mind. Every question you ask, every precaution you take, is an investment in more time spent with loved ones, in favorite places, doing the things you love. Now, let's arrive at the hospital or imaging center together. As you step through the door, you'll likely be greeted by a receptionist who will check you in. If you've brought a family member or friend for support, that's wonderful. Having a familiar face can make the entire process feel lighter. While you wait, take a moment to reflect. You're here because you're looking after yourself, choosing courage over worry, and being your own best advocate. Soon, a member of the imaging team will call your name and walk you to the scanning area. You'll sit down for a quick review of your medical history. Be honest about any symptoms, medications, allergies, or health changes. This is the time to share any recent hospitalizations, surgeries, or new prescriptions. The more the team knows, the better they can tailor the scan to your needs. Now, depending on your symptoms and your doctor's concerns, there are a few types of scans you might receive. Let's explore each one so you'll know what's ahead. Ultrasound. Doppler. For most blood clots in the leg's deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, the go-to test is an ultrasound, sometimes called a Doppler scan. This is the least invasive, most comfortable scan available. The technician will ask you to lie down on a soft table and expose the area being scanned, usually your calf, thigh, or sometimes your arm. They'll apply a cool, slippery gel. Think of it like a gentle jelly to your skin, and then slowly move a small, handheld probe over the area. You might feel a bit of pressure, but never pain. You can chat, close your eyes, or simply listen to the soft sounds of the machine as it quietly translates echoes from inside your veins into a moving picture on a screen. What's truly remarkable is that you'll often see your own blood flow in real time, a little river of life pulsing and moving with each beat of your heart. The whole process usually takes 20 to 30 minutes. And there's no radiation, no needles, and no need to undress. Completely just loose, comfortable clothes work best. CT pulmonary angiography. If your doctor is concerned about a clot in your lungs, a pulmonary embolism, they may recommend a CT scan, also called ACT pulmonary angiogram. This scan uses a special X-ray machine and a contrast dye to create a detailed 3D image of your chest. For this scan, you'll change into a gown and lie on a table that slides gently into the scanner, which looks a bit like a giant donut or tunnel. And 4 will be placed in your arm to deliver the dye. Don't worry, most people feel only a quick pinch. And the dye might make you feel a warm sensation or a metallic taste for a few seconds, which quickly fades. You'll be asked to hold your breath for a moment while the machine takes images. The entire scan is over in just a few minutes. It's fast, painless, and the team is always right there to answer questions or offer reassurance. If you have a history of kidney problems or allergies to contrast dye, let the staff know they have safe alternatives. Mr. I. Sometimes, especially for clots in deep pelvic veins or for those who can't receive contrast dye, your doctor may order an MRI. This scan uses powerful magnets and radio waves to create a clear image of your blood vessels. You'll lie on a padded table where earplugs or headphones to block out noise, Mr. Is, can be a bit loud and may even get to listen to music. The scan is entirely painless, just a bit of stillness required. VQ scan. A ventilation perfusion, or VQ. Scan may be used if you can't have a CT. You'll breathe in a harmless mist and get a small injection of a safe tracer. Then relax while the scanner watches how air and blood move through your lungs. This test is gentle, non-invasive, and often used for people with allergies or kidney concerns. No matter which scan you receive, the staff's goal is always your comfort and safety. If you ever feel nervous, don't hesitate to ask questions, share your worries, or request a break. The team is there for you every step of the way. Once your scan is complete, you'll usually be able to get up, get dressed, and return home right away. There's no downtime and no lingering effects for most people. If you received a contrast dye, you might be encouraged to drink extra water to help flush it out of your system. Now comes the waiting, the hardest part for many. Try not to let anxiety take over. Most imaging centers deliver results within a day or two, often sooner if there's urgent news. Remember, a scan is not a sentence, it's a tool, a way to find answers and to put your mind at ease. In many cases, the scan comes back clear, and you and your doctor can celebrate your proactive care. But if a clot is found, you can rest assured that your medical team will act quickly. They'll explain your results, talk you through your options, and begin treatment right away, often with simple, effective blood thinners. The earlier a clot is found, the less likely it is to cause harm, and the faster you'll return to your normal routines. If at any point during this process you feel uncertain, lost, or overwhelmed, know this: you are not alone. Ask a loved one to join you for support. Jot down any questions that arise, and don't be afraid to advocate for your comfort. Remember, every scan is not just about finding what's wrong. It's about giving you the information, clarity, and confidence to move forward with strength and peace of mind. So next time your doctor suggests a blood clot scan, step forward with courage. Trust in the process and trust that you are taking wise, loving action for your future. Every moment you invest in your health is a gift to yourself and to everyone who cherishes you. In the next segment, we'll unpack what your scan results mean, how to interpret them with your doctor, and the steps to take whether your results are clear or show a clot that needs treatment. So stay with us. Your journey to understanding, confidence, and empowered health continues, one step at a time. Now that you've walked through the doors of the imaging center, bravely faced the unknown, and completed your blood clot scan, a new chapter begins the waiting. For many, this can feel like the longest and most uncertain part of the journey. As you return home, Perhaps still feeling the cool gel of the ultrasound or the gentle thrum of the CT scanner echoing in your memory. Your mind may start to wander. What will the results show? What does it all mean for your health, your independence, your future? Let's sit together in this moment of uncertainty and unravel what comes next. First, remember, whatever the results, the most important thing is that you took action. You listened to your body, sought answers, and partnered with your care team to protect your well-being. That is never a small thing. It is a sign of courage, wisdom, and self-respect. As the hours or days pass, you may receive a call from your doctor's office, or perhaps you'll log into your medical portal to check for updates. This is a good time to reach out to loved ones for support. Waiting is always easier when shared. Keep a notepad handy to jot down any questions or feelings that come up so you're ready to talk things through once your results arrive. So, what might your scan reveal? Let's talk through the possibilities and what each outcome means for you. If a clot is found, let's start with the scenario that's often top of mind. A blood clot is found. Maybe it's a small clot in the calf, or perhaps a larger one, higher in the leg, or rarely in the lungs. If this happens, remember, you are not alone, and there is hope. Today's treatments for blood clots are remarkably effective and have helped millions reclaim their health and confidence. Your doctor will explain exactly where the clot is, how big it is, and how urgent the situation is. You might hear terms like deep vein thrombosis, DVT, or pulmonary embolism (PE). Don't hesitate to ask for explanations in plain language. Good doctors welcome your curiosity and want you to fully understand. In most cases, treatment starts right away. The most common approach is medication, usually a blood thinner, which helps prevent the clot from growing and gives your body a chance to break it down naturally. Blood thinners come in many forms: pills, injections, or sometimes an IV. In the hospital, your doctor will tailor the plan to your needs, health history, and the specifics of your clot. In some situations, if the clot is very large, causing severe symptoms, or at risk of moving, your team may discuss more urgent options. These might include special procedures to dissolve or remove the clot, or even a short hospital stay to monitor your progress. But in most cases, blood thinners and regular check-ins are enough to guide you safely back to health. You may wonder, how long will I need to take this medication? The answer depends on your risk factors, the location of the clot, and your overall health. Some people need blood thinners for just a few months, while others may need longer-term protection. Your doctor will walk you through this and make adjustments. Along the way, it's natural to feel a swirl of emotions, relief that the cause was found, anxiety about treatment, even frustration or fear about the future. Remember, these feelings are valid. Give yourself permission to process them. Talk them over with friends, family, or a counselor. And above all, don't be afraid to ask for help. You've already shown great strength by facing the unknown head-on. If your scan is clear, now, let's consider another outcome. Your scan shows no clot. For many, this is the best news, a sigh of relief that washes over you and your loved ones. Your doctor might say, "We didn't find any evidence of a blood clot," while you may still have symptoms to explore, perhaps from arthritis, muscle strain, or circulation issues. You now know that a dangerous clot isn't lurking unseen. Take a moment to celebrate your vigilance. By seeking answers and ruling out a clot, you've taken control of your health. Your doctor may suggest further testing to uncover the true cause of your symptoms, or perhaps recommend lifestyle changes, physical therapy, or other treatments to help you feel your best. Stay proactive, keep listening to your body, and trust that you're on the right path. After the results, what's next? No matter what the scan reveals, the journey doesn't end here. There are a few important steps to take, ones that can make all the difference as you move forward. First, attend all follow-up appointments. These check-ins allow your doctor to monitor your progress, adjust medications, and answer new questions as they arise. If you're taking blood thinners, you may need regular blood tests to ensure the medication is working safely. Don't skip these visits. Think of them as tune-ups for your well-being. Second, stay alert to new or changing symptoms. Even after treatment, it's possible for new clots to form or for side effects to emerge. Keep a simple diary of your health. Jot down any swelling, pain, changes in breathing, or unusual bruising. Bring this to your appointments. It's a powerful tool for communication. Third, be kind to yourself. Recovering from a health scare can stir up old worries or bring new challenges. Some people feel anxious about moving too much, while others want to return to full activity right away. Give your body the time and space it needs to heal, and trust your care team to guide you safely. If you ever feel overwhelmed, reach out for support. There's no shame in seeking encouragement or a listening ear. Fourth, don't hesitate to ask questions. Good doctors welcome your engagement. Here are a few you might want to bring to your next visit. How do I take my medication safely? Are there foods or other medicines I should avoid? How will I know if the clot is dissolving? What symptoms require immediate attention? Can I travel, exercise, or return to my hobbies? Are there precautions I should take? What's my long-term risk for more clots, and how can I lower it? As you continue on your health journey, remember, information is power. The more you know, the more confidently you can advocate for yourself and your loved ones. Finally, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned, not just about blood clots, but about your own resilience. You faced uncertainty, sought answers, and emerged with a plan. That is something to be proud of. In our next segment, we'll address the myths and misunderstandings that surround blood clot scans, helping you separate fact from fiction and empowering you with even more tools for lifelong health. Stay with us, and let's keep this journey going together, because every step you take is a victory for your future. Let's pause here and take a deep breath together, because now we're entering a part of our journey that matters just as much as scans or medicines: understanding the truth behind blood clot scans and letting go of old myths that hold us back. Myths and misunderstandings are everywhere, especially when it comes to health, and sometimes they can even do more harm than the very problems we're trying to avoid. So let's pull back the curtain and talk honestly, because the more you know, the safer and more empowered you become. First, let's talk about one of the most persistent myths I hear, especially from seniors. If I'm not in pain, I can't possibly have a blood clot. This is simply not true. In reality, blood clots can be incredibly sneaky. They may sit quietly in your leg, deep under the skin, causing only the faintest sense of heaviness or a bit of swelling sometimes. No symptoms at all. Pain is not a requirement for a blood clot to exist. I've met many people who only realized something was wrong after a scan confirmed it, even though they never felt much pain at all. That's why, if you notice swelling, sudden warmth, or a change in color in one leg, don't brush it off. It's not about being dramatic, it's about being wise. Another myth I hear is, I'm too old for more tests, I'll just put up with it. My heart goes out to anyone who feels overwhelmed by doctor visits or exhausted by what can feel like an endless parade of tests. But I want to gently encourage you. Getting a scan isn't a sign of weakness or a burden to your family. It's a profound act of self-care and love for yourself and for those who cherish you. I remember a gentleman named Walter who told me, I almost didn't bother with the scan, but my granddaughter convinced me. It caught the clot in time, and now I tell everyone, don't put it off. Tests aren't about fear, they're about staying in control of your own future. Let's address another common worry. Scans are risky, uncomfortable, or even dangerous. The truth is, most scans, especially ultrasound, which is the most common for finding clots in the legs, are non-invasive, painless, and remarkably safe. Ultrasounds use gentle sound waves, not radiation. CT scans or VQ scans do use a tiny bit of radiation, but for most seniors, the benefits far outweigh any risk. Especially if a clot is suspected, and if you have allergies or kidney issues. Your medical team can always choose the safest test for you. Please, never let fear of the scan itself stop you from seeking answers. Talk openly with your doctor about your worries. They're there to listen. Now, let's touch on something I hear often. If I'm already on blood thinners, I'm protected. I don't need to worry. It's true that blood thinners are powerful tools to lower your risk, but no medicine erases risk entirely. New clots can still form, especially if other factors change, like a new medication, illness, surgery, or even long periods of inactivity. I know this can be frustrating, but it's a gentle reminder to stay alert, even if you're taking all the right steps. The same is true if you've never had a clot before. Age itself raises your risk, so it pays to be vigilant, no matter your history. And what about family history? I've had people say, no one in my family's ever had a clot, so I don't need to worry. While family history does matter, and certain genetic factors can raise risk, most blood clots in seniors are caused by a combination of aging, medications, health changes, and lifestyle. Don't assume you're immune just because your parents or siblings never had an issue. Your health story is uniquely yours. And staying informed is the best gift you can give yourself. Another myth that needs busting is the idea that if the scan is clear, I'm done forever. While it's true that a clear scan is wonderful news, it's not a lifelong guarantee. New risk factors can arise with changes in health, medications, or mobility. That's why it's important to keep up with routine checkups, stay in touch with your doctor, and never ignore new symptoms, even if you passed the last scan. It's about staying engaged, not just crossing something off a list. Some people worry, I'll feel weak or embarrassed if I need a scan, or if I'm seen at the clinic. Let's put this one to rest, once and for all. There is no shame in looking after your health. In fact, there's great wisdom in it. You are setting an example for your family, your friends, and your community. By advocating for yourself, you inspire others to do the same. I remember speaking with Ruth, 80, who was nervous about going in for a scan. Afterwards, she told her bridge club all about it, and 3 friends went for checkups of their own. She later said, if my story helped just one person, it was worth every minute. Sometimes people ask, will my scan hurt? Will I need to recover afterward? For most, these tests are gentle and painless. An ultrasound feels like a cool gel and a light probe on the skin, nothing more. CT and MRI scans might involve lying still for a few minutes, sometimes with a small IV, but you'll usually be able to go home right away. Most people are back to their normal routines within hours, not immediately. If you're someone who gets nervous in medical settings, maybe the thought of machines or hospitals makes your heart beat faster, I want to reassure you. Bring a friend. Ask for music or a warm blanket, or practice a few deep breaths before you go in. Let the staff know how you're feeling. They're used to helping people feel at ease. Remember, you're in good hands, and you're taking a powerful step for your well-being. Finally, let's talk about one last myth. Nothing can be done. Clots just happen, and I'll deal with it if it comes. This is the myth I want to challenge the most. The truth is, prevention and early detection save lives. Each healthy habit, moving often, staying hydrated, monitoring your medications, lowers your risk, and scans catch trouble before it becomes crisis. You are never powerless. Every choice matters. As we wrap up this segment, let's carry forward a sense of confidence and clarity. Blood clot scans are not something to fear. They are a lifeline, a way to claim your health and your future with courage. You don't have to walk this road alone. Share what you've learned with family and friends. Be the person who helps someone else ask the right questions. The wisdom you gain today can echo through your community, bringing hope and safety to those you love. Stay tuned, because up next, we'll focus on the practical steps you can take, questions to ask, habits to build, and ways to become your own best health advocate, day in and day out. Remember, the journey to lifelong health isn't about being perfect. It's about staying curious, staying connected, and taking each step with purpose and hope. We're in this together, every step of the way. As we arrive at the end of our journey together today, I invite you to take a deep, calming breath. Let this moment be a gentle pause, a chance to reflect, recharge, and recognize the true power you hold over your own health and well-being. Sometimes, it's easy to forget how much influence we actually have. The world around us moves fast. Information comes at us from all directions, and it can feel like we're always catching up. But if there's one thing today's conversation has proven, it's this: every single step you take matters. Every choice, every question, every conversation. These are the small, steady bricks that build a fortress around your health. You see, living well, especially in our golden years, isn't about chasing perfection. It's not about never feeling tired, never making mistakes, or never facing worries about health. Instead, it's about showing up for ourselves every day with curiosity, with courage, and with care. It's about listening to those subtle signals: an ache in the leg, a new kind of tiredness, a gut feeling that says, maybe I should ask about this. It's about seeing these whispers not as annoyances, but as invitations to act, to ask, to advocate for ourselves and those we love. Throughout this video, we've explored not just the science behind blood clots, but the stories, the emotions, and the practical wisdom that can transform medical jargon into real, lived experience. We've learned about the hidden triggers: dehydration, inactivity, certain foods or medicines, unspoken family history, and underlying conditions that often escape notice in the rush of everyday life. We've followed the journeys of people like Margaret, Evelyn, Helen, James, Maria, and Ms. Lynn, ordinary seniors who turned moments of worry into opportunities for awareness, prevention, and, ultimately, hope. Their experiences remind us that knowledge is more than power. It's peace of mind. It's another day in the garden, another game of cards, another birthday candle blown out with joy. But the real magic happens not just in knowing, but in doing. Every time you fill a water bottle, stand up and stretch. Ask your doctor an extra question, or help a friend understand their medicines. You are taking control. These aren't just chores on a checklist. They are acts of self-respect, gifts to your future self, and examples for everyone around you: children, grandchildren, neighbors, friends. It's true what they say. Prevention is not a one-time event. It's a way of life. It's 1,000 small choices, strung together day after day, that create a safety net so strong it can catch even the most silent risks. Now, as you step forward from this video, let's bring all the pieces together with a sense of possibility. Maybe today is the day you finally start a daily walk after breakfast. Or you set a timer to remind yourself to stand during your favorite TV show. Maybe you reach out to your doctor and share that medication list you've been meaning to update. Or maybe you teach your grandchildren a new stretch they can do with you. Perhaps you call your sister, your best friend, or your neighbor and tell them, "I learned something important today. I want you to know it too." If you felt anxious about blood clots in the past, let that worry transform into action. If you've put off asking about a scan or skipped an appointment, let this be the nudge to take the next step. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. In fact, every time you choose knowledge over uncertainty or connection over isolation, you become a model of resilience and wisdom for those who look up to you. And please, never underestimate the ripple effect your actions can have. When you share what you've learned, whether in a support group, a family dinner, or a quiet moment with a spouse, you are doing more than caring for yourself. You are breaking cycles of silence, replacing fear with facts, and lighting a path that others can follow. Your courage to start the conversation may save a life, inspire a friend, or empower a caregiver who's feeling lost. Before we part ways, I want to encourage you, invite you to keep this momentum going. Write down a few takeaways from today's video. Post them on your fridge or by your bed. Bring them to your next doctor's visit. Reflect on the small habits you want to build or strengthen. Maybe it's more movement. Maybe it's mindful eating. Maybe it's asking one more question about your care. Every single effort is a seed. With patience and consistency, those seeds will grow into stronger veins, more vibrant days, and memories that linger long after worries have faded. And of course, let's not forget the most important ingredient: community. We are stronger together. If this video resonated with you, please consider joining our community by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your presence here means more than you know. Leave a comment below, share your own experience, your questions, your victories, and setbacks. What have you learned about listening to your body? What steps have you taken, or what tips do you have for someone just beginning their journey to better health? The conversation doesn't end when this video fades out. It continues with every connection you make, every story you tell, and every new day you embrace with purpose. Your health is your legacy. The choices you make today are a gift not only to yourself, but to everyone who loves you. So, as we close, I hope you feel empowered, hopeful, and ready to take action. Your journey is important, your story is unique, and your life is filled with possibility. May you move through your days with curiosity, kindness, and courage. May you trust in the quiet wisdom of your body, and may you never stop learning, growing, and caring for yourself and for those around you. Thank you for spending this time with me, for listening, for caring, and for believing in your own strength. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay active, and keep moving forward, one mindful moment at a time. As we round the final bend in our journey together today, let's shift from myth-busting to something even more powerful: practical action. Because, in the end, it's not what we fear that keeps us safe, it's what we do. And you, right now, have the power to take charge of your health in ways both big and small. Let's begin with a simple truth. Knowledge is important, but action is where real change happens. So, after all this talk about scans and risks and stories, you might be wondering, what can I do right now to protect myself and the people I love from blood clots? The good news is that the answer is both simple and empowering. No matter your age or medical history, you can be an active partner in your own health, asking questions, building habits, and creating routines that make a genuine difference every day. Start by remembering that you are not alone in this process. Every year, millions of people, parents, grandparents, neighbors, friends, face the same questions you do. Some feel overwhelmed, some feel scared, but all of us can move forward with courage and clarity when we know the right steps to take. So let's talk about those steps. The first and most important tool in your kit is your voice. Your voice. Whether it's strong or soft, confident or hesitant, your voice is your lifeline. When you're at the doctor's office, in the pharmacy, or even chatting with a loved one, never be afraid to speak up. Your questions matter. Your experiences are valid. You deserve to understand every test, every scan, every medication that is part of your care. Let's make this practical with a checklist, a series of key questions to bring with you to every appointment. Every time a scan or medication is mentioned, you can write them down, print them out, or save them on your phone. What matters is that you have them ready and you use them, because every question you ask is an investment in your own future. Here are the questions to keep front and center: why? Do you think I need this scan? Don't settle for vague explanations. Ask your doctor to walk you through their thinking what symptoms or risk factors made them recommend a blood clot scan today. Which scan is safest for my health history? Your personal background, kidney function, allergies, devices like pacemakers all matter. Let your doctor know and ask which option is safest for you. What are the next steps if a clot is found? If not planning ahead means less anxiety later. Ask about treatment options, follow-up scans, and what your care plan will look like no matter the result. How soon will I get results? Nobody likes waiting in the dark. Find out how and when you'll be informed. Should you expect a phone call, a follow-up appointment, or something else? Should my family also be checked, or is my risk unique? Sometimes your experience can guide care for your children or siblings, especially if there's a family history of clots or heart issues. Don't hesitate to ask if loved ones should be aware or screened. 2. If you're feeling nervous about speaking up, bring a trusted friend or family member to your appointments. Sometimes having a second set of ears helps you catch important details or ask questions you might forget. Remember, you are your own best advocate, but you never have to advocate alone. Now, let's talk about daily habits. Because prevention isn't just about what happens at the doctor's office, it's about what you do every day at home. And the best part? These steps are simple, often enjoyable, and always within your reach. Stay active. It doesn't have to mean running marathons or joining a gym. Gentle walks after meals, stretching during commercial breaks, even light chair exercises can make a world of difference. Try moving at least once every hour, especially if you're watching TV, working on a puzzle, or traveling. Stay hydrated. Water truly is life. Aim for several glasses a day, more if it's hot or you're taking medications that cause dehydration. Remember, coffee and tea can count, but water is always best. Know your medicines. Keep a written list of every medication, supplement, or vitamin you take. Update it regularly and bring it to every appointment. This is a simple step, but it's one that can prevent dangerous interactions and help your care team keep you safe. Eat thoughtfully. Try to fill your plate with colorful fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Limit highly processed, salty, or sugary foods. These can thicken your blood and slow your circulation. Not sure where to start? Ask your doctor or a dietitian for easy ideas. Keep up with care. Don't skip your annual checkups, even if you feel healthy. Routine screenings can catch risk factors early, and a simple blood test or scan can mean the difference between a minor issue and a major health event. Listen to your body. You know yourself better than anyone. If you notice new swelling, sudden pain, or unusual fatigue, don't ignore it. Trust your instincts and reach out to your doctor. Connect with others. Share your story, your questions, and your successes with friends, family, or support groups. You're part of a wider community, and your voice, your story, might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, every action you take, no matter how small, builds a safer future for yourself and those around you. Every time you ask a question, stand up and stretch, or share what you've learned. You are investing in more birthdays, more family gatherings, more peaceful mornings, and joyful afternoons. As we close this segment, I invite you to take one small step today. Choose a question to bring to your next doctor's appointment, or set a timer to remind yourself to stand and stretch. Pour yourself an extra glass of water, or call a friend and share something new you learned today. Each step is a victory. Each choice is a gift. The journey of healthy living doesn't end with a scan, a test, or even a diagnosis. It continues with every day you choose to be curious, proactive, and caring toward yourself. Because you deserve to live, not just longer, but better. And you have everything you need right now to begin. Up next, we'll wrap up with a message of hope, empowerment, and a reminder that you're never alone in your journey toward health. Stay with us and let's take those next steps together.